I do wonder. In the Doom clip, there was a little itty bitty clip of Toss saying something about how you had found out later on that Felicia had put some kind of like parental, not a tracker, but to where it updates whoever else is looped in on the phone as the other parent or the other guardian or whatever. Number one, how did that happen as far as like, how did you find out about it? And what did it track? Like it would update? I don't know. Fill me in.
I'm not exactly sure about all the information that it would give, but I had this old phone. I had a new phone at that point, and like the old phone, just was turned off and put into a drawer. So for some reason, Courtney, who is the other girl that doesn't get talked about very much, because like there's not really very much to say there. That was a very loose relationship. It's been said that like, oh, she was living with Pat Dixon. She was not living with Pat Dixon. I did let her stay in my place for a week unattended, which was a really dumb idea. But I get away, and I'm like, and I went out of town. And of course, when I came back, my apartment's trashed and everything. So that's her, and she had a torrid affair with, it's, I mean, you probably know. I mean, I think it gets mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Out of spite, So she was really mad at me. But at first, she was like, "You treated me so well. You made me feel so good." It was always shit like that. It's the opposite of what gets said. So, I'm not sure if I remember your question exactly, but it was about about the phone. So she texted me again recently, just like, "Hey, what's up?" And then one time it got to a point where I was obviously handling this very carefully, not wanting to, because I know that, she has made some new friends out of some of my enemies. So she was saying, I don't know, we were in the middle of some conversation, and I took out that old phone and I turned it on, right? And then she goes, way to power up your phone. Like, right then, she makes a reference to me turning that phone on. So I'm like, obviously, that's impossible. That's impossible,
Yeah.
Unless she's looking in the window, that's impossible.
I can't help but to hear like background horror music, like slasher, or something. When you're explaining this, I'm like,
it was chilling. It was a chilling thing. Way to turn your phone on.
Oh, see, that makes me get a chill down my spine. Like, whoa, now.
Ugh. And then I did, I wasn't really sure how this worked. I thought I might have some kind of tracking, like an app or like malware or whatever the fuck you put on somebody. And I did go to the police, and I'm like, listen, this happened. And of course, the guy's just like, he's 25-year-old, patrolman, and he's like, no, those Apple things are pretty safe. You don't need to worry about it. But I wanted to speak to a detective in their, like, I don't know, cyber or whatever, but couldn't do that. And it was, I guess, it got figured out. It got figured out that it was some kind of like, it's something that Apple has. Felicia uses Apple stuff, like laptop and shit like that. I'm not really clear on 100% of that. But I did turn off the ability to do the tracking. Anyway, it's just sitting in the drawer now. Anyway, I was like, I felt good that was fixed. I wish I had like a full explanation of that. But I know something was on it if she said, way to turn your phone on the minute I turn it on. And it hadn't been on in weeks or months, probably. It was a dead phone.
It would not still be in my place. I would have taken a sledgehammer, that son of a bitch, burn it in the backyard, something. I would have been like, this thing's cursed. She's bugged it at some point. Who knows whether it doesn't even need to be on. I don't know. I would have, at that point, I think I would have been so paranoid. I would have been like, all right, this is cursed. That's not going to stay here. But more power to you.
I thought I might need it for evidence or something. I don't know.
No, okay, fair enough. But I remember seeing her very, very, very early on MLC. It's this or I dreamt it, but I swear he had asked her, like, would you want to get back with Pat? And she was like, I don't know. Like, with very, like, 50-50. I don't know. Because that was, like, one of the first times I had seen her and knew who she was. I was like, okay, that's Felicia. And I remember that because I thought, oh, that's sweet. I guess maybe there's a chance. Maybe they're going to get back together. And then from that point on, it's all gone to shit. But I remember
one thing that she said, he goes, you guys should do a podcast together, do it on just, online. And she's like, we can't. We'd end up like, camming. We'd end up back together. It was like, that was her instant reaction, I'm like, whoa.
It's just very different, the dichotomy between like, here's our private relationship, but with karmic, it's all public. Everything is out in the open. And I don't know, like the power dynamic with that completely flips. Like it sounds like in a lot of these situations with you guys, she sort of had like a leg up in a way, only because she was calculated and thought a couple steps ahead and knew like her position where she was going to be. With this, it feels like she's always here with like the power dynamic between those two. She's up here, and to him, he's looking at it like, oh, this is this, comic. I've seen her here, I've seen her there. She's so much, because he was talking about when he couldn't finish that it was like overwhelming for him because this is Felicia. She's a big deal. But so he's always working sort of at a deficit where she stays on this pedestal. And that's when you have a power dynamic like that and you're calculating and manipulative and you've got sweet little karmic that just left Minnesota for the first time. I don't know. I just don't have a good feeling about this at all. And I know karmic goes off at the mouth and he cusses and he freaks out, and he really is a little out of line with the way he attacks people sometimes, which, whatever. But I can't help but to be sort of protective of him and be like, don't hurt him. It's just little karmic.
But yeah, I mean, he's the dumber of the two. He's the less experienced of the two. And he's the, definitely like vulnerable, I mean, like to be fair, one of the reasons he couldn't finish because he hadn't seen a naked woman in years.
I know.
And and now he's like, wow, I'm sure it was overwhelming, but like, whatever, go with it. I mean, maybe he felt self-conscious. I don't know how much of somebody, I mean, like there is with the lore of somebody, they get blown up, and so there's been a lot of lore.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, like, it's hard to say. I mean, like, you're right. She did always have, like, it was her car. Get the fuck out of it,
Right.
Yeah.
And nobody has to take my word for anything. I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff out there that you could look. I mean, that's why the Doom clip is so fucking great, because, I mean, like, and listen, I appreciate you guys because, like, I'm not used to having any agreement on all this shit. I mean, like, even if people are like privately, like, it's pretty fucked up, or there, some people have been pretty vocal, but like, this matters to me, And so I didn't want to come on and belabor it and be like trying to like explain anything away or anything like, but fill in any gaps that you guys have. But I mean, I really appreciate it. It means a lot.
Yeah, man. Well, it's just like, it feels like it's been, you get chastised for talking about it at all, whereas they can come on and joke and laugh and talk about all the personal things and the things maybe you weren't comfortable having out, in the open and so forth. And then when you do say something about it, all of a sudden you're the one that's obsessed. You're the one that can't get Felicia. It's just like, let's just be fair. Let's just be fair here, and I don't know. I just think I saw Eva say he's a 42-year-old man. He is, Eva, but he's been sheltered and he has arrested development. And he's only been with 2 women ever. Like, come on, man. So I just worry about him. But Pat, it's like, I feel like you should be able, if anyone, to defend yourself, to say whatever it is that you need to say. And, I don't think you should be chastised or, people say, oh, you're hooked on her when you're the one that didn't say anything. You've left things alone. If you got bonked on the head and said, all right, I got it, enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, people say like, oh, it's such a bad move. You look like you're trying to explain everything away. It's a bad look or whatever. It's like, I don't know what else is, this shit was not going to go away ever.
Yeah.
Right. So it does get frustrating. You want people to know these things that are, try to like, shout somebody down on the sidewalk to listen to your story, about
right.
Look at this, look at what she wrote, and it makes you, I get it, it looks weird, but
right.
These are the facts of the matter, and not this other, and I don't mean to sound so emphatic and weird and everything, but like, it's, it matters to me anyway. I've been married 3 times and I've had numerous, I've had some girlfriends, whatever, maybe a few that were pretty important. And I've never even had so much as a domestic call at my home ever. I've never had anything like that. There's never been some accusation or anything like that. It all started after I punched a guy at Compound Media, and that's when all this stuff started. And, a few people who all have a reason to say these things can really kind of get the word out. And, after, and it's not like I'm patting myself on the back. Oh, my fucking great record of being divorced and not beating women that I'm married to.
Right.
But like, it's just like, if there's anything, I have that,
Yeah.
There's more that I know that both of us really want to talk about when it comes to that whole situation.
Yeah.
But because soon enough you'll be able to say whatever you want, and when that happens, we're having you back because I have so many thoughts and questions in the background of like different things and how things kind of came to where ahead of where it is even now, because I think that's a big part of the picture that is missing too.
It'd be nice to speak freely. I mean, I don't have like a bunch of. I'm not making any threat to do any sort of talking or anything. Nobody should take it that way.
When will you be freed up for that?
December, end of December.
Okay, well, that's not too long.
Yeah, it's been like that happened in 2022.
So. Yeah,
that's a long time, man.
I know.
Long time.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I turned myself in for that back in December, I guess, of 2023. Or no, 2020. No, 2022. My bad, 2022. And I had to drive all the way up for court. It's 1,300 miles and back. Damn. And Felicia and I made a couple of these trips. And whatever. I think I almost got thrown out of the car on one of those too. But like it was a pretty big hassle. I was back and forth like 5 times.
Right.
And so it's like, I don't know, 14,000 miles or something like that. And for the whole thing to end up with time served, in this order and anger management, which was not that big a deal. Seems like a lot. It ended up being like 2nd-degree harassment.
Well, they take that shit pretty seriously. With the one that you had, well, go ahead.
I just want to say, which contradicts the fact that people, when they say a felon, he's a felon. This guy's like 2nd-degree harassment. It's a misdemeanor. It'll be like a traffic ticket eventually.
But with the HRO with Felicia, it was the lowest, like the shortest amount possible, and then it was done. And you did have the ability to say whatever you wanted online or otherwise. And
I had that ability even while the order was going on. She wanted the stuff she was asking for in the order was he can't say anything about me ever in public. He can't lie to club owners to poison them against me. He can't try to mobilize his fans against me. He can't intentionally or unintentionally lie about me. And it's like, and the judge was just like, that's not what we do here. He's like, an order of protection is the most serious form of, intervention that law enforcement can offer. This is for serious shit. You might, I guess, try to look into some kind of restraining order or something, to get me so I couldn't talk. But I could always talk as much as I wanted. None of that stuff was in play. I just couldn't obviously contact her, which wasn't an issue for me.
She had said though that you actually violated those 3 months. You violated that order
by posting a picture that didn't have her name on it. It had it was an AI picture that I did where I typed in something like, spiteful, angry girl or something like that. And this combination of words I did, something came up that looked like her. And I posted that, and I, no big deal. I mean, I didn't post it on Twitter or anything. I think I only posted it on their, the little AI art website, or, whatever, on my page on that. But the thing is, her name wasn't mentioned. Right. And she claims that was some sort of violation of it. And it's not even close.
Right.
I didn't try. I would have, to violate that order, I would have had to try to contact her or mention her name in a tweet or handle or something like that, and like I wasn't even saying her name. So I had the ability to talk about her the whole time. Yeah, of course, you know, that's another one of those dumb details that just gets thrown in and, you know, addressed here, you know, which is cool.
Well, she had also said something to effect of in an argument that you guys had, that she said that you tried to hit her, but you didn't hit her, but you did punch her in the head 3 times is what she said. But then she said she called the police, or she didn't call the police because you didn't hit her. That's why. Honestly, that's exactly how it went. She said, he didn't hit me, but he punched me in the head. Then I went and I was going to go call the police, but he didn't hit me. That's how she explained it. I'm just saying.
I can't. I know I can't speak to that. I remember hearing her that she said something like, he was about to punch me, and then I turned my head around so fast that he punched me in the back of the head.
Yes.
And then I guess my anger was sated.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just, obviously that would leave no marks and shit like that and blah, blah, blah. I mean,
I will say
where's this trail of beat up women, you know?
Hit the like button.
This is a Doom clip. Let's let that emotional weirdo not spam me. And if you want to donate to Doom, I mean, his Cash App's everywhere. We all know your Cash App, Doom. I've given you money before. Doom's never given me money. I can honestly say I've given Doom money. Doom's never given me a penny.
Send me one more goddamn Doom clip that I'm not going to watch. What?
Doom, you're doing Doom. You're throwing everybody's side. You're doing a Lord's work.